The psalmist tells us, the fool says in his heart, there is no God. None of us want to be just known as fools, and yet there's a way that because of the world we live in and the culture we live in, it's hard to, in a sense, know how to use wisely and well all the things that we earn, all of our possessions, our treasures on some level. We've all probably said it or heard it said many, many times, you can't take it with you. But I'm not sure we really believe that sometimes the way we live. So it's a tension, it's a difficulty. Years ago, when I was helping out in a parish on weekends in Winnetka, at this time of year I gave a homily on the problems of wealth. When I got back to the rectory, they said, there's somebody on the phone for you. So I picked it up, and he said, this voice said, are you the idiot who talked about the power of wealth? I said, yeah, that would be me, I guess. He said, you're crazy. All of us would want the best we could get, as much money as we could get. I wanted to say, well, let's go back to today's gospel, but he had hung up, which was probably a blessing for both of us. We live in a world where we're inundated with the encouragement to tell us of all the things we need. And it becomes difficult to differentiate, well, what do we really need? And what would it be nice to have? And what is really an extra luxury? Years ago, when I did a lot of pre-Cana conferences, one of the things we would give couples is to rate a bunch of things that everybody has or most people have in their house. And it was always predictable. The guys would say a dishwasher is a luxury. We don't need that. Their wives would see it differently, okay? So part of it is also our perceptions. But notice in today's parable that Jesus tells us, this man who had such a great harvest, his big dilemma was, how do I hold on to it all? And so he built greater barns, and he thought he could just rest and take it easy. But notice God calls him a fool. But notice he has no concerns. It's also as if he was the only person in the world. There's no reference to his wife or to his family or to his relatives. And that's maybe part of what we need to attend to. There is a way that being inundated night and day by all that we supposedly need, we can't live without. It's going to make such a difference. Our lives can become narrower and narrower. I used to know a great old nun who used to sometimes just quietly comment about certain people. She would say, smaller than life. And that's the danger. When we get so focused on what we want or what we need to get. I know I probably need to buy some Prevagen, but I don't get that commercial that says, what's in your wallet? I go, first of all, it's none of your business, and you won't get far with what's in my wallet. But Jesus tells us, and it isn't as simple as it sounds, that while we, in a sense, have to make a living, we have to use properly the things of this world. Our real task here is to grow rich in the sight of God. To grow rich in the sight of God. That looks very different. So to grow rich in the sight of God, God has to become more and more important to each of us. And that includes all those who are in the family of God, everyone. So it's not about accumulating, but it's about giving ourselves away. And Jesus is, for us, the great example of what that looks like. Jesus lived and died as a person with very few possessions, as best we know. And yet, we are still gathering in his name. And so the challenge for us today is really to struggle with, despite all the things we have to do to earn a living, to keep our families going, to be safe, to be educated, but what does it mean for us to grow rich in God's sight? Let's take a moment and just ask ourselves that question. What do I need to do differently so that in the end, I won't be found as a fool because I have grown rich in the following of Jesus?
Thank you for joining us today. Our digital ministry provides a valuable service to parishioners and visitors alike. Daily and Sunday Mass, funerals, weddings, and fireside chats, among other things, can be seen locally, throughout the country, and even the world, in real time or at one's convenience. If you would like to support this effort, please go to olphglenview.org. Click on the gold Donate button and then the Sunday Giving icon to make a contribution on our secure online giving portal. We sincerely appreciate your past and ongoing support. Thank you for helping us continue this ministry. God bless.